Hello friends, today we'll study electron microscopes. Now we see what is electron microscopes. Now, electron microscope is a microscope that uses a beam of accelerated electron as a source of illumination. Now, generally we have seen in the labs, so there are various types of microscopes. So they are generally called as optical microscopes that uses a wavelength of light for the illumination. Now here, what is the difference here is that we are using a beam of electron instead of using a light of wavelength of light. So this is therefore it is called as a electron microscope. Now what we can see what is the advantages of this, we can see here. Transmission electron microscope can achieve better than 50 picometer resolution and the magnification up to 10,000 x. Now these are the magnifications can be achieved by this type of microscope. So we can see a very small minute structure of a material can be observed here. Now we can see the transmission electron microscope uses electrostatic and electromagnetic lenses. So these are the lenses that are used so that we can direct these lenses directly. They directs the movement of the electron and they focus on the specimen. That is the use of that lenses. Then the electron microscopes are used to image the ultrastructure of the materials. Generally in industry they are used to find out the failures in the specimens or the components, or it can be used for a quality control department. Now we see this is the typical type of electron microscope where arrangement is such that there is a electron generators are used. Then there are various lenses that can give a proper direction to the beam of electron and that can be projected on the specimen. So these are the types of we can see it is a simple diagram of electron microscope. Now we will see next slide here. Who has invented? Now the German physicist Ernst Ruska and electrical energy Max Knoll constructed the electron microscope in 1931. So that is capable of 400 power magnifications. The apparatus was first demonstration on the principle of electron microscope. So these are the scientists that had developed the electron microscope in the decades ago in 1931. Now you see the types of electron microscopes. So there are four types of electron microscope. That is, first one is very famous one, that is called the transmission microscope, then scanning microscope, reflection electron microscope, then scanning transmission electron microscope. Now here in the first one we can see the name itself says that something has been transmitted. That means what we are doing here, the principle says that the electrons are projected on the specimen and we are magnifying that image and we are observing that image. Now here transmission electron microscope says that means the electron will be transmitted from that specimen. Then second type is the scanning microscope. That means we are scanning or electron is projected on the specimen and whatever the reflections are there, that is can be observed on the screen. Then reflection, again same procedure, again there is a mixture of this transmission and the scanning. It means combining transmission and scanning microscope, the fourth type has been developed. Now we see the first type is the transmission electron microscope. Now what is transmission electron microscope? It uses a high voltage electron beam to create an image. Now electron beam is accelerated by an anode typically at 100 kilovolts. Then commonly the electron beams produced by the electron gun by using tungsten filament as a cathode. Now the electron generation gun is used and where the electron beam is created. Then the beam is focused by electrostatic and electromagnetic lenses and transmitted through the specimen, that is in the part transparent to electron and in part scatters them on the beam. Now this is the simple procedure how the electron transmission electron microscope works. Then what happens, what is the procedure here? Now if you see the diagram, so here the high voltage is created, the whole assembly is in vacuum. Then these are the various electrostatic or electromagnetic lenses we can see here. So it gives a proper direction to the electrons that is created. Now from that, here electron gun is there where we can generate the electrons by using a tungsten filament. Then it is projected, and this is the specimen is kept here. This is the specimen. All of the electron that is projected on the specimen can be transmitted, and whatever the transmissions are there, it can be observed on the screen. So this is the screen. So that is the working of an electron microscope. So that is a simple diagram. From that we can see the procedure how the images can be magnified and it can be observed. A very minute part, when you very small images can be seen. Now here spatial variations, the first procedure is there. When the beam emerges from the specimen, the electron beam carries information about the structure of the specimen, that is magnified by the objective lenses of the microscope. Then variations in this information may be viewed by projected or magnified electron image onto the fluorescent screen coated with the phosphor and scintillating material, that is a zinc sulfide. Then what we can see here from the diagram itself, so these are the fluorescent screen, so we can maximize the image. Then alternatively, the images can be photographically recorded by exposing photographic film or plate directly to the electron beam, or high resolution phosphor may be coupled with the means of a lens. So these are the techniques that can be used. So first thing we can see that it can be reflected on the beam or a fluorescent screen, or it can be recorded by using a photographic film. Various techniques are used. Now we can see next type. The resolution of TM is limited primarily by the spherical, so aberration. Then hardware correction of spherical aberration for the high resolution transmission microscope have allowed production of images with a resolution of 0.5 angstrom and magnification above 550 million times. So these are the advantages. Not we can say the major advantages is that electron diffraction. So transmission electron microscope are often used in electron diffraction mode. The advantage of electron diffraction over the X-ray crystallography is that the specimen need not to be single crystal or even a polycrystalline pod. So any type of specimen can be observed and it can be monitored or it can be studied by using a TEM type of electron microscope. Now the major advantage of the TEM is the need for extremely thin section of specimen, typically 100 nanometers can be observed. So these are the various advantages. Now this thing we have studied, it is a electron gun where the electrons are created, then whatever the electrons are there, it is directly projected on the specimen. The electron will transmit through that specimen and it will take the information from the specimen and it can be seen on the fluorescent screen or a camera. So that is the working of transmission electron microscope. Now we see scanning electron microscope. Now here, as I have discussed in previous also, that means here the no transmission is taking place, only the whatever the electrons are generated, they are scanned on the surface of a specimen and it is reflected back, and whatever the reflections are there, it is recorded on the fluorescent screen or various sensors, and we can study the that is the structure of that specimen. So that is the working of SEM. Now we can see here what is the CM produce images by probing the specimen. Then the focus electron beam is scanned across the rectangular area of specimen. When the electron beam interacts with the specimen, it loses some energy by a variety of mechanisms. Loss of energy is converted into alternative forms of such as heat. The images displayed by SEM maps varying intensity of linear. So this is the working. Now we can see the diagram. Now this is the electron gum. The procedure is same. That is a lens. Then there is a whatever the electrons are there, it is projected on the screen. Then it is projected on the specimen, and whatever the projection is there. So what will happen? Some type of electrons will be reflected back, and that reflections are observed either on the X-ray detector or the scan generator. So this is the mechanism. So what is difference here in TM? Whatever the electrons are there, it is transmitted through the specimen. Now here in SEM, the electrons are first projected on the specimen, and reflection will be there, and that reflection is monitored. So that is the major difference of the between SEM and TM. Now we can see SEM images relies on surface process rather than the transmission. So that is what we have said. I have said. Now it is able to image bulk sample up to many centimeters in size. It can produce images that are good three-dimensional shape of a sample. Another advantage is that it is environmental scanning microscope can produce an image of sufficient quality and resolution with the sample being wet or contain low vacuum or a gas. So this greatly facilitate the biological samples that are unstable in the high vacuum of a. So that is the sim example. So here SEMs are generally used in the biological, the monitoring or studying the biological organisms. Now we see next type is the reflection electron microscope. So it is in a reflection electron microscope. As in TM, the electron beam is incident on the surface. Instead of using transmission or secondary electron, the reflected beams of elastically scattered electrons is detected. This technique is typically coupled with the reflection high energy electron reflection and reflection high energy loss spectroscopy. Another variation in the spin polarized low energy electron microscope, which is used for looking at the microstructure of the magnetic. Now same thing here, a special type of electron that is reflected and that can be observed. So that is the reflection electron microscope. Again, the combination of scanning and transmission is the scanning transmission electron microscope. So they are focused on incident probe across the specimen that has been thinned to facilitate the detection of electron. The high resolution of TM thus possible in STEM. So the focusing action occurs before electron hits the specimen in the stem, but afterward in the TM. So these are the combinations, and whatever the advantages are there in TM and SEM, it is overcome by these facilities. So these are the type. Now you can see what are the disadvantages of electron microscope. So electron microscope are expensive. Microscope designed to achieve high resolution must be housed in a stable building. So these are the advantages. With special service such as magnification and cancelling systems. So specially made equipments are there. They require a proper space. Then the samples largely have to be viewed in a vacuum, as the molecule that make up air would scatter in the. So these are the various procedure advantages, disadvantages in the procedure. Then an exception in the environmental scanning which allows hydrated samples. So in SEM we can use hydrated samples at a low pressure and wet environment. Now scanning electron microscope also has some disadvantage, that is operating at high conventional high vacuum mode usually image conductive specimens only. Therefore non-conductive material require conductive coating such as gold, palladium, carbon and osmium. So these are the some disadvantages. Now we can see what is the applications of electron microscope. The first application is semiconductor and data storage, circuit edit, defect analysis, failure analysis. Biological, second is the biological and life sciences. So 3D issue imaging, biological production and viral load monitoring. So these are the some applications in the biological field. Toxicology, virology, vitrification, structural biology, particle analysis, protein localization. These are all the applications in the field of biology. Then in material science, device testing and characterization, materials qualification, whatever the defects are present and we can see in this type of materials. Then medical research, nanomaterial metrology, nano prototyping, and in industry 2D 3D micro characterization, chemical petrochem chemical direct beam writing fabrication. So these are all the applications of electron microscope. So thank you friends. Whatever the we have studied here is the first thing what we have studied here. We will give the summary. First, electron microscope, types of electron microscope, and whatever the working of that types, that is TM, SEM, and different types of electron microscope that we have studied, and the applications and the disadvantages of that electron microscope. So thank you friends for your attention.